everybody. Let's start with the Mnemosyne workshop, where we have 6 panelists to discuss with all of you this afternoon within the time framework of 3 hours. All this what we do in the area of holistic documentation. It is a joint workshop with different projects and initiatives. First starting with the UNESCO Chair on Digital Cultural Heritage, then continuing with the EU Horizon 2020 projects, the European Research Area Chair on Digital Cultural Heritage. We host both chairs in Cyprus. Both of them coincidentally have the same name, Mnemosyne. I will come back and explain to you what it is all about that. Then an initiative which we got, it is a study on quality in 3D digitization of tangible cultural heritage. More about that later. Then the Europeana Common Project under the leadership of Europeana. And then the Marie Curie project Change. Marie Curie Initial Training Network Fellowship Change. First of all, thank you, CIDOC, for accepting our application. Thanks to all the panelists, to the speakers, to the colleagues for their time, but also interest and contributions, and of course to all the participants. Now, the speakers, of course, from 5 different countries: Cyprus, Italy, Belgium, Canada, Greece, Slovenia, and UK. And now I'm going to explain to you what it is all about today, starting first of all with our name. It's stated here and at the last line here of my slide, Mnemosyne. It's an old name, 2,500 years ago, invented in Greece, ancient time period. Yeah, it was an ancient Greek goddess and the mother of 9 ladies, the so-called Muses. These ladies, ladies and gentlemen, were responsible for what? To keep the memory of the Greeks alive, to preserve it. And you see here, the Greeks on that time had a system, yeah, had a guideline, a protocol, starting with Calliope, responsible for the epic poetry, going up to Urania, and now Mnemosyne, pay attention, Urania had the name, or received the name of her grandfather, Urania, who was responsible for astronomy. On that time, astronomy was a part of a multidisciplinary field. Was not only philosophy, was also mathematics, was physics, and so on and so on. So these ladies were responsible, had a temple, and this temple had a name, and the name was Museum. And that was the temple, that was the space where the Greeks went to keep alive their memory, to for a long-term period, to keep their memories and their thoughts, whatever they thought, whatever they wanted to keep alive for the generations to come, forever. They went there and they asked the Muses, but also the mother of the Muses, Mnemosyne, to keep it alive. So now a museum, a well-preserved work, and that was a temple, a space for preserving the memory of the ancient Greeks. But today, as a part of the complex definition of a museum, we take just only this part, which is very interesting for us. It is a space of knowledge. It is a space of identity, to protect the knowledge, the identity. And it is a memory carrier. So that's on the one side. But on the other side, we are on the 21st century, and we are facing the revolution of ICT. And in Europe, we are talking about the digital transformation. And this digital transformation, or this ICT, is smart devices, you know. We are from time to time hearing and facing the so-called artificial intelligence, isn't it? And yeah, of course, let's see what this smart, well, artificial intelligence and so on, ICT at the beginning of the 21st century can do. Here, a small one example, which I would like to underline this, what it is important for us, and we as UNESCO chair, as ERA chair, under the name of acronym of Mnemosyne, we are working. This is a typical museum object from the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, a very unique one, a very important, which is, if we go and focus in or zoom in, we see it's a particular interest object. It's somehow unusual object. And if we have an inside, please, inside, yeah, not just only the exterior, but also the inside of the object, we see that indeed it is an exceptional, unique object. And if we now further investigate, this already was done, completed, and we see that it is a machine. It is a very complex object. So from the left-hand side, this is what we see, but this, on the right-hand side, this complex engineering of knowledge which is behind that, what it was on that time, 2,500 years ago. And that's the oldest analog computer of the world, ladies and gentlemen. That's the so-called Antikythera mechanism, discovered 110 years ago on the ground of the sea outside of the island of Antikythera. By saying this, and by taking all this revolutionary technology of ICT currently in place at the beginning of the 21st century, on the time or during the period of the of the digital transformation, okay, we see the museums not only as a space of a knowledge, not only as a space of identity, not only as a space of a memory, but as a space of a very complex structure of data, multi-modal, multi-media data, which we, with the help and the support of the technology, are trying to not only document it in the form of a 3D structure as it is in the center here, in the middle, but also in the form of a holistic approach by giving to the museum visitors the real knowledge and the real memory of this, what it is available. We do know, ladies and gentlemen, that our museums, our monuments, our sites are talking. And imagine that you are going, you're walking virtually or physically through a museum, and then you stop and you are in the position, with the help and the, of course, full support of this powerful ICT that we have now. And of course, it's this under development, and we are moving. It's a revolution here happening in the ICT. To do what? To stand there and communicate with these objects, and each one of these objects to tell you their stories. Yeah? So do we understand these stories? Are we in the position at all to hear what they have to say? How can this digital era contribute? to better understand, access, to preserve, to protect of the history of mankind, or at least to learn from the past and improve the future, if it's a knowledge, if it's a memory of humankind. Yeah, and we do that in a time period where are the standards? We don't have standards. There is only one or two, CIDOC CRM, the object ID, and that's it. But it's all about the knowledge, yeah? And this is what Europe found out, and that's why Europe is moving forward, and that's why Europe wants to improve the field here, and that's why Europe invented this survey or this study on quality in the digitization of tangible, 3D, tangible cultural heritage. And it is an award. We got it within a period of 6 months. We have to deliver a report in this area, opening the wide horizon, moving in the direction of standards of data acquisition, standards on quality, standards on complexity, and so on and so on. So just to give you an idea of what it is all about, we went out online, we asked the community, and I have to say something about the ICOM community, which is extremely important here. We started on the 21st of October. We have in the meantime 251 completed responses about how do you document, what the kind of metadata, paradata, the parameters to ensure the quality and the support of to support the complexity and so on, you gather together. We got all these from around the world, from 45 different countries. And if I see here, it doesn't look good. And that's the reason why it is red. It is because the museum or other related to cultural heritage spaces of knowledge and memory are not supporting us, are not contributing, are not giving us this what we are asking with the help and support of the EU, to improve you, to help you, to support you more. Please help us. Please be actively involved in our study. You see that the universities, the private business, which are SMEs, the same position like the museums, the students, ministry, state, the non-profit, the cultural side, I mean, people working in the cultural side and in other. These are the percentages of participation. And you see the other professional background coming from the archaeologists, going down to the up to the other professionals. We don't see here the museologists. We need the museologists. It is a part of this what we are trying to help and support. So therefore, we need your help. And if you see them here, in which area of digitization these experts are working, you see museum objects, yeah, it's 108 persons, professionals, out of the 251 who answered. But we need more, because we are asking the community to help and support us in order to improve your field. And if you see here to which society, to which association, to which international committee you belong, you see none of them, that's the majority. ICOM is not well represented in our survey. We want the voice of ICOM here. We want the flag of ICOM to be, if not the highest one, the biggest one, to be one of the biggest and not one of the smallest. And you see that we got a very high quality data, knowledge coming from the majority of high professional people. Yeah. See, if you add all these numbers here, that's the majority. Yeah. And with several years of experience. Nevertheless, they are coming from the area of the data acquisition. Please pay attention. Data acquisition. We are saying museum, space of knowledge, space of identity, space of memory. Yeah, okay, that's a multi-modal, complex data available, and we need to acquire data acquisition in 3D, in 2D, and we are using different type of technologies here. And those are the specialists. And we need your support. And if we are asking now which metadata you use, then you will see here Lido. This is the museum data structure scheme. And we would like to have more specialists coming from this area once again, yeah. And if I see, for example, the paradata and all these kind of things, ladies and gentlemen, we need your help, we need your support so far as this study concerned. And it's all about the quality, it's all about the complexity. And if we see here now the important parameters to ensure quality in the digitization process, yeah, you see. And as I mentioned to you, these are preliminary results. Yeah, the study is running until the end of this month. And if we see here the complexity in the digitization process, you see, it starts with the quality of the images, going down to the connection to a wider survey network or a record of paradata, limited or no obstructions, and so on and so on. And here is where we are. Here is the QR code, and I will kindly like to ask you to scan it and help and support us for this survey.